So here we are. It's the 30th episode of The Pursuit of Sound with Double Crown. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm turning 30 all over again. Yep, and this is the first time that I'm going to be doing this solo. You heard that right. Been motivated by a lot of podcasts I've been listening to lately, and it's finally time to give it a go. Solo dolo. So anyway, I'm caught in so many different transitions right now. It's amazing. This is a good point to podcast at because I have just finished writing for the new Gods album. So stoked on that. We're going to be recording that the end of next month, September, and hoping to release by early October, actually, believe it or not. And that'll have 10 full songs, which I'm so stoked on. Managed to pump that out within like 2.5 months, which isn't so bad. And I've been pumping out a decent amount of electronic music productions in the meantime. I ended up releasing a house, like a chill house track with Noah Friends. Ended up releasing like a bass banger with 4 other people. It's a 5-way collab. That one's Dilemma. The one with Noah Friends is called Back to the Basics. All y'all, I gotta plug this stuff in. And the 5-way collab is called Dilemma. That one is with Domino and Curry Sauce, Kilgo Beats, Stewart, aka Stu from Myrtle Beach, and myself. It's 5 peeps on that one. I also made a remix of a Brainwaves track recently. That dude's out of Costa Rica, super awesome bass style producer. I remixed his track Microphone courtesy of a whole remix EP that Station Underground helped make happen in collaboration with Brainwaves. So yeah, that's 3 tracks, 3 electronic music tracks that I've released recently, and Gods is about to put out 10 songs here soon, and that's been a whole whirlwind of energy, just having to practice all that, just be ready to perform that live. We at Gods has moved from a 3-piece band to a 2-piece band recently, and so I went from playing bass to now playing guitar, and we have the bass backtracked throughout the speakers along with some extra guitar parts and stuff like that. So going from a 3-piece to a 2-piece with just me and Desla now, it's a different dynamic, and having to get used to a whole different flow of things, playing guitar instead of bass, and a whole new guitar tuning that I'm not used to, and it's interesting, and I have loved every second of taking on that project. I don't want to slack on talking about this because me and Deslin are so stoked on this, and it's a big deal for us. But yeah, this is just one milestone in a lot of milestones. I'm gonna be DJing Dance Festopia in Kansas City relatively soon. It's like a whole week festival in Kansas City called Dance Festopia. The homeboy Stu that is on the track Dilemma that I recently released, he's on vocals. He was the one that suggested that I actually try out for this festival DJ competition to be able to play on it, and I was just like, sure. So I recorded a mix here at the house and submitted it. It got approved, and then I ended up the next day driving up to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and performing a live set with like 9 other DJs for a winning position to play at Dance Festopia. Granted, it's probably going to be that like this whole competition is taking place in all these other cities around the United States, so there's so many other winners that are a part of this Yellow Brick Road stage that's gonna happen at Dance Festopia with big headliners like Zed's Dead, Subtronics, you got Recno, you got Excision, you got so many people that are amazing on that lineup. It's a true privilege to have won the competition alongside of Stuart. He won the competition, and Gil, aka DJ Solid Alibi, and he's a producer as well. He's such a good producer. He's got dank tracks that actually have been played out by Excision. Y'all need to check that out. His Pepas remix, if I'm not mistaken, got played out by Excision. His Instagram is This Solid Alibi. Go check him out and check out his credentials. He's doing his damn thing. He won the competition here in Charleston. I won it up in Myrtle Beach. And Stuart won it on the internet. And so all 3 of us here in the South Carolina area are going to be flying out to do that festival, which is going to be awesome. It's not my first festival. It's not going to be my last festival, so I'm stoked on that. It's the first one I'm going to fly for as far as playing. So yeah. Ooh, enough on all that. I'm working on being able to push out more electronic dance music for all y'all ladies and gents and all the above. Trying to get down to that grind and just get more stuff out. Like, I want to make more, house music, some weird bass music, some everything in between, I've always kind of been that eclectic style, and getting back into the flow of all these things, the balance between doing this podcast, producing electronic music, doing everything with the band. I've got the wedding band as well, the DJ gigs, everything with the girlfriend, just regular life stuff, all in between, handling all the promotional material, pushing out new content. It's a lot to micromanage at the same time, but I'm working into that flow, and I'm just super motivated by all the podcasts I've been listening to and stuff, and all my friends and everything that they're putting me on to. It's cool. I depend on my friends. Like, they put me on to the most new relevant stuff and like keep the pulse fresh on this scene. I've been a part of the Charleston music scene, Charleston, South Carolina music scene for a long time now. It started out in bands, and then it ended up going into DJing and like electronic music and the production of that and stuff like that. And I want to, ultimately integrate that with instrumentalism, all that blah, blah, blah. And so, that's where like future ambitions lay and stuff. And, this is just me thinking out loud. Just working out this first solo podcast, so it's like interesting, just to be able to speak out loud and think about all that stuff. So, it's cool, 30th podcast. There's got to be so many more podcasts in the future, and this can't be the first and only solo one. So you know, I just want to thank everybody for even like being interested in like what I'm talking about and doing and the music I'm making and all that stuff and who I'm affiliated with and all the collabs. That it's just everything to me, you know. It's such an undergoing, just putting forth all this sort of hopeful energy and time into things that you have to make flourish. You know, it's hard to make it happen like this. You know, it doesn't happen overnight at all, and I recognize that, you know, I'm here to stay, and I'm so glad that, you know, me and Deslin are able to do Gods now as a two-piece because it's just more efficient right now, and I love the creative control on the guitar and being able to bring forth like the flavors that I'm certain that I'm savoring at this moment, so to say. And you know, it's super humbling. I just love the creative process. I love people tuning in to see what's going on. I've been trying to do better with my social media content, with putting forth like teasers and things to let people know that I'm, you know, still staying busy. You know, it can be a hassle keeping up with all the social media stuff, you know, like the Facebook, the Instagram, the TikTok, the text messages, like all the above. Like, I've tried to simplify my social media presence so that everything can be as efficient as possible, and that's like the latest goal, because with, you know, turning 34 this month, I'm used to the old way of things. I'm just used to organic grind, you know. I wasn't born with an iPad in my hand. And so that's why I continue to be humbled and just try to keep up with everything and stay relevant and let my friends keep me relevant and all that good stuff. So, you know, it's just such a nice experience. I want so much for this podcast. I just want to shout out all my previous guests. I've had 29 guests up until this point. Just scroll back on this podcast and listen to everybody that I've had on. You know, that's 29 peeps right there. And I have so many more I want on, and that's just going to be awesome, because I got into podcasts and just kept listening, and there's so many good ones to just name off. I've been really big into like Bad Friends lately, which is like Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino. I love a lot of like conspiracy podcasts. I recently broke into Joe Rogan, even though I thought it was like too cliche. I listened to a decent amount of him. I love the Always Sunny podcast, Always Sunny in Philadelphia one, that is, and Day Old Bagel podcast. They had it's a local Charleston, South Carolina podcast that had my band on recently. And y'all should definitely listen to that podcast. Day Old Bagel, episode 7, featuring Gods. And yeah, so, you know, I hope to be getting into the grind of doing some more solo podcasts and getting used to that. I love the Theo Von podcast. I just want to seriously shout him out. It's called This Past Weekend, and he's been crushing it like super hard lately, bringing on like just top-notch guests, and yeah, trying to keep up with all the motivation that's been coming my way. And I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet. Love y'all. Peace.